On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all our dignitaries and guests. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dinesh Roy Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor and Registrar Professor Dhirendra Parihar Sir, and respected deans of all schools. Your presence adds immense value and prestige to this conference, and we are grateful for your support and guidance. We are truly honored to host this prestigious gathering on a platform that brings together thought leaders from academia, industry, and policy making, united by one shared vision to strengthen sustainable development through innovation, responsible governance, and knowledge creation.
As we all know, the world today is rapidly transitioning toward a knowledge-driven economy, where sustainability is no longer a choice, but a necessity. The theme of ICON 2026 is therefore extremely relevant as it highlights the importance of embedding sustainability into economics, management research, higher education, digital transformation, ESG frameworks, and green innovations aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This conference aims to encourage meaningful interdisciplinary discussions and promote best practices that can contribute to economic resilience, ethical leadership, and sustainable futures. We are delighted to welcome researchers, doctoral scholars, academicians, corporate leaders, and young innovators from across India and abroad, who are participating virtually in this international event.
Now, I will start by acknowledging the presence of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dinesh Shenoy. Professor Dinesh Shenoy is a senior academic leader and industry academia practitioner with over 3 decades of experience across global banking and higher education. Sir holds a PhD from IIT Kharagpur, and he has held leadership roles at ANZ Bank, Melbourne, and Barclays Capital, Singapore, and has served in key academic positions at various places of repute. A very warm welcome, sir. Your presence is truly inspiring for all of us. I will also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Dhirendra Singh Parihar, sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Administration and Registrar, GDGU. Sir has worked closely with multiple national regulatory bodies and external quality assurance agencies, and is well positioned to guide institutions in meeting standards, maintaining accreditations, and aligning with evolving national education policies. Thank you, sir. Your presence is inspiring today.
Now, I would like to request Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and respected Pro Vice Chancellor Sir and respected Dean, School of Management, Professor Smita Girija Ma'am, to please come on the stage and felicitate the distinguished guest for today. And before that, I would like to inform and make a short announcement that our chief guest for today, Mr. Dheeraj Sharma, Director, Indian Institute of Management, Roper, is unfortunately late due to a delayed flight, so he'll be joining us later. Ma'am, please. I would like to welcome our keynote speaker for today, Mr. Jitendra Grover, Chief Finance Officer, Capgemini. Please give a big round of applause for sir. So, please take a seat on the dais.
Now, I would like to welcome our guest of honor for today, Mr. Amit Sinha, Chief Operating Officer, Richemont, India. I would like to welcome our special invitee for today, Ms. Beatrice Irene Gorge, First Secretary, High Commission of Malawi, New Delhi. Please give a big round of applause. Ma'am, please take a seat on the dais.
I would now like to introduce Professor Dr. Smita Girija, Dean, School of Management. Professor Smita has held several leadership positions at reputed institutions and has delivered specialized MOOCs in marketing and innovation on Swahili platform. She has also taught full credit courses as an international visiting professor at Goenka University of Applied Sciences, Germany, and is a passionate researcher with numerous publications and case studies in reputed journals. We are truly fortunate to have such an inspiring leader guiding us. I will request ma'am to please give the opening remarks for the conference.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Provost Sir, Chief guest will be joining us very soon, Professor Dinesh Sharma, Director, Administrative Management Board, Mr. Goenka University, Chief Finance Officer, Capgemini, Mr. Amit Sinha, Chief Operating Officer, Richemont, India, Ms. Beatrice Irene, First Secretary, High Commission of Malawi, and dear participants. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the 8th International Conference on Sustainable Knowledge Economy, Trends, Innovations and Best Practices. It's the 8th series, so we started 8 years back and we're doing it continuously. We are grateful for your presence and your contribution to this academic dialogue. Today, economies across the world are increasingly driven by knowledge, technology and human skills. However, economic growth must also be sustainable, socially inclusive, environmentally responsible and ethically grounded. It is not only about creating wealth through ideas and innovation, it's also about ensuring that development benefits society while protecting resources for future generations. Universities and research institutions play a vital role in this transformation. Through research, teaching, and collaboration with industry and policymakers, we help develop responsible leaders and sustainable business practices. This conference provides a valuable platform to exchange ideas and build partnerships that can contribute to long-term sustainable growth. Over the course of this conference, we will discuss various themes which contribute to this idea. I am confident that this discussion will generate meaningful insights and encourage future research collaborations. Something about the conference now. Out of the total submissions received for the conference, 65 research papers have been shortlisted and are being presented across 6 thematic tracks over the course of the next 2 days, reflecting the interdisciplinary breadth and contemporary relevance of research in the domain of sustainable knowledge economy. I'm happy to share that we've received few papers from international scholars also. Selected papers will be considered for the Best Paper Award and publication in a Scopus Index journal and an edited book volume, thereby offering giving an opportunity for the contributors for enhanced visibility. So last year, the first series of the books we have published, and this year the second series. I sincerely thank all our distinguished speakers, paper presenters and organizing team for their efforts. I wish all the participants a productive and enriching conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words. Now, I would like to introduce and welcome our keynote speaker, Mr. Jitendra Grover, Chief Finance Officer, Capgemini. Mr. Jitendra Grover is chartered accountant with more than 28 years experience in finance. He spent a major portion of his career working in IT and telecom sector with corporates including Nokia, Ericsson and Capgemini. Earlier, he has also worked at KPMG. Presently, Mr. Jitendra is CFO for ERD GBL India at Capgemini Engineering. The Capgemini Group has presence in more than 50 countries and has large operations in India. Sir has helped putting in place some of best financial models, strategies, processes and practices which have contributed significantly to the success of business operations, cost optimization and streamlining of compliance and reporting. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We are honored to have you with us today. So, please you are requested to address the gathering.
Good morning, everybody. A little bad throat, so please bear with me. So I was thinking about what to say to all of you that would be of interest to you. So one choice I had was one to share my own journey with you, or I could talk about my perspective on what to expect when we join the think what to expect. What do we see in the new joiners fresh out of college? And I could also talk about the role of CFO in today's world, and also what to expect in future. So I chose the later. I hope you will find it interesting. What do we expect from new joiners fresh out of college? Honestly, the expectations have not changed over the years. It's not been evolution. So we always, when we meet the sort of freshers fresh out of college for recruiting purposes, the thing that we see that we have basic knowledge of content, basic clarity about the financial concepts if you're hiring in finance. Then we also see in terms of attitude, how focused are you, how sincere are you. So these are the things we see when we hire from campuses. One advice I may have for you is that you are building the foundation of your careers now. So learn deeply, so go deep into your subject. And one thing out of experience I can say is that whatever you learn, please also reflect on that. The reflection brings the clarity of mind, and then you remember it for a long time. So reflection is very important. Then, so moving on, so what is the role of CFO in today's world? For that, it is important to see the evolution, to understand the evolution of finance function over the years. So if I were to compare with the situation that we had in the late 90s when I started my career, so I don't look that old, but I actually have more than 25 years of experience. So I started working in 97, 98. In those times, the main role of finance function was to gather information, pull some information from the systems, then coordinate for information from other people, and then manually put together in the form of a report. The role of CFO was to ensure that the information is accurate, the numbers are accurate, they're compliant with accounting standards, and then present those numbers to the board. So that was the role of CFO in that time. So, but if you compare that to what it is today, so today there is no challenge on data. So we have fancy dashboards, data is available at the click of a button. So in Power BI, I can see all the KPIs getting reflected on a real-time basis. So there is no challenge with information. The role of the team today is to analyze what is coming out of system and point out exceptions. So how can we do cost savings, or where are we going wrong? Give all those insights or build reports that give exception information. That's the role of the team today, major proportion of their role. The role of CFO today is to not only, it's actually, you can say that CFOs are becoming business partners. Why they are called business partners? Because they have access to data on a real-time basis, and they are able to share their insights with business operations on a real-time basis. So that's why they are called business partners, so they are becoming more and more business partners today. Right? So those insights are useful for making decisions, because that's real-time information. If I were to say, like in the decades before, we used to say, okay, this report will be published 1 month later or quarterly and so on, then you can't make business decisions based on that report, or you have to, there was a lot of play of gut feel. But now, because the information is available on a real-time basis, the CFOs are able to give insights on a real-time basis to business. So that's the role of CFO today. Now, what to expect in future? So, I would say no discussion, no meeting is complete today without talking about artificial intelligence. So all of us know that artificial intelligence is going to impact, or at least we are expecting it to impact the way we do business, the way we lead our lifestyles in a big way. Right? This morning only, I was hearing to some panel discussion on AI, topic of AI. There was a conference last week in Delhi only. So there were eminent speakers on that panel, and I think there was a professor from IIT. He said that the right way to expect to articulate what we expect from AI is to see what situation existed in 1970s, the kind of technology we had at that time, and compare that with the technology that we have today. In 70s, we didn't have even computers, right? So, compared to today, we have a lot of technology. We have mobile phones, internet, computers, and so on, everything. So the change that AI will bring to you in 2040, that would be the difference. So 1970 to 2025 versus 2025 to 2040. So in 15 years, you will see the kind of transformation that we have seen in past 50 years, or more than 50 years. So that was the prediction made. I don't know how true is that, but that sizes up the amount of expectations we have from AI. It's a huge amount of expectation that AI will do this, that, and so on. There are two analogies I like a lot when we talk of the impact of evolution of AI. So one analogy is when the internet was introduced. I can talk about it, why it is because it happened when I started working in late 90s. So internet was just launched in those times, and there was big expectation in the market. A lot of investment was made into online platforms. There were a lot of online companies set up in that time. Their valuations was skyrocketing and so on. But then in few years, those companies went under the weight of the expectation only. They could not deliver so fast, and we popularly then called it a dot-com bust. It happened in 2002, around that time. So the companies went off. But again in 2007, 2008, these companies started doing well. I mean, online platforms started doing well, and now we see, I mean, online internet and online transactions, e-commerce is part of our normal life, right? And this is even beyond the imagination we had in the late 90s. So the kind of the way internet has affected our lives or the way we do business has gone beyond our imagination, right? So I would say AI, the evolution of AI would be something similar. It could be something similar. And that sounds more reasonable to me. AI would come faster than maybe internet, but it may not be so fast as we are expecting today. So it's not going to be there tomorrow itself. We're not going to be there so fast, but definitely it is coming. And in a few years or in coming time, we will definitely see the impact of AI. So I believe there will be some evolution of AI. It's not going to come tomorrow itself. Second analogy that I like is on productivity. So again, going back to that 90s example, so if I were to deliver the output that we are delivering today in 2026 within finance, the kind of dashboards we are publishing, if I were to use the tools of 90s to deliver this output, these kind of dashboards, this kind of information, and then I would probably need double the size of team, maybe more than that, because there was a lot of manual effort, a lot of putting together information. If I were to produce that on a real-time basis like we do today, then I would require a humongous amount of team. But that means the productivity has increased a lot by the technological change. But does that mean the jobs have become less? No. The answer is no. The companies have prospered over the time. Economies have prospered. So have the employees. It has created more jobs for everybody. Different kind of jobs, but people have more jobs in the market. So I believe AI could be something similar. The productivity is going to rapidly increase with the advent of AI. But there will be jobs for people who know how to use AI, how to make best use of that. That's what I believe. One thing I would say to all of you, if you are focused, if you know, if you're ready to put in effort, there is nothing that you cannot achieve. And best way to predict the future is to invent it. Thank you. And I wish you all the best in your careers. Wish you a lot of success, a lot of happiness. And I'm here. If you had any questions, I'm here for some more time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your journey, and it was very insightful to know.
I would like to introduce and welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Amit Sinha, Chief Operating Officer, Richemont, India. Mr. Amit Sinha has over 40 years of professional corporate experience, where he has handled executive level positions at various leading Indian MNCs. He has worked with Isuzu Motors, Japan, Hindustan Motors, Eicher Tractors, Royal Enfield, and Good Earth Limited in various functions including strategy, quality production, and corporate affairs and retail. Mr. Amit is currently working with a Swiss multinational Richemont, the second largest luxury goods company globally, as a Chief Operating Officer and Board of Director in India. Sir is on the boards of Montblanc, India Retail Private Limited, and Van Cleef and Apples, India Private Limited. He is also the chair of Retail Committee of the European Business Group, which is a part of EU Council in India and is the current president of All Indian Federation of Horological Industries. He is a mechanical engineer and post his graduation, he has completed his MTech in mechanical engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. A very warm welcome, dear sir. We are honored to have you with us today.
So, good morning everyone. A louder good morning please. Good, that's good to hear you. Be ready. So many pages to say. Get ready, yeah? And because this, I think, Dr. Goenka has a quiz after this for all of you. So, what do you want me to speak about? It's there on the screen. I would like to speak about the future and link it to the theme of this session, yeah, of this eighth item. So, good morning once again. Thank you, Mr. Jitendra, for the nice view. However, I will speak to you with a very different perspective. I don't have a doctorate. I have not done any relevant clinical research. But I think my voice counts a lot. I will speak to you from the perspective of a normal citizen. Does that work for you? Good, because all of you are also citizens of this world, right? Global citizens. What does the future look like? I would call it dystopian. Anybody who knows the meaning of the word dystopian? Yes, ma'am, please. Something you can't fix, something dark, something crazy. You've seen Bollywood movies, Hollywood movies with dystopian futures, dark cities. Is that the future that we want? Probably not. For sure not, right? But what we want is a world that is far more sustainable where we are all happy. So there is a choice to make. And that choice is something that I will discuss. But before we go into choices, let's go into a choice which was made in the early 1950s. It was called the miracle invention. What was it called? The miracle invention. Any idea what it was? Any idea? No. This. Let us take a walk down the memory lane with a very, very short example. Plastics. It pervades us everywhere. We have plastics on us. In fact, inside us, so unfortunately. So the invention of plastic was supposed to be the biggest invention of those times. It led to so many benefits for the society. During World War II, the plastics were seen as a revolutionary invention. They were used in parachutes, they were used in syringes for the troops in the front, they were used for shells of bombs, they were used in making tanks, and it saved so many lives. Unfortunately, I think that was where plastic started from. Most of you were most of you, except for the faculty, were not born with it. Even I was not. But then we saw plastics making a very, very big inroad, and that was the post-war era, the post-World War era. Plastics started to take over industry after industry. They replaced steel, they replaced iron, they replaced wood, they replaced aluminium, they replaced cotton, different types of plastics. And they replaced product after product. That's how revolutionary it was. And it was durable, it was cheap, it was limitless, it was nearly indestructible. Plastics are indestructible, right? You all agree with that? Okay. It solved a lot of real world problems until it did not. Until it became the problem itself. Right? So how interesting is that? The solution that was supposed to be revolutionary to save us became the problem itself. So what happened? What went wrong? What went wrong was that we never calculated the consequences of having invented something like plastic. And that is where this whole topic should be discussing is in the next 2 days is how to look at consequences of everything that we do. A coveted quality of plastic was nearly indestructible. But that turned out to be the problem itself. It solved the problem, but it became a problem. And the fallout we couldn't predict. The consequence, microplastics, landfills, crazy landfills. You've seen Gazebo? Some people of you? Can you see Gazebo? Has anyone been to the Gazebo landfill? I would suggest that all of you, because you are looking at sustainability, should go and do that. You will be amazed, shocked, and depressed. But that is what it was. That landfill is dystopian. It's scary. But that's the future that we're looking at. It caused ocean pollution. Fishes have microplastic inside now. It caused air pollution. There's a recycling crisis. There is a human ingestion of plastics. How many of you have plastic inside? I can guarantee you microplastics are everywhere inside. Everywhere. You all agree? Yes or no? Loudly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's why we need all of you. So what did we do? This was the consequence. So what did we do? Any ideas? We created a mitigation plan. What was the mitigation plan? Extremely simple. Create the circular economy. Produce something, use it, waste it, and then put a large amount of money to reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose, blah, blah, blah. Right? That's what's called the circular economy today. But did it help us? This was a reactive circular economy that was born. You create something and then you try to solve it. It was like putting Band-Aid on a bullet wound, and we spent a humongous amount of money to manage its consequences. And this, we have scaled this problem to billions of units on a daily, minute basis, hourly basis, weekly basis. In fast fashion, in fossil fuels, in e-waste, in everything. You create a problem and then you want to recycle it, right? So, sorry, I have a lot of slides. So how do we change that? And that change will happen because there was an advent of knowledge. The missing link here is knowledge and academia. All of you sitting here are the missing link. And how are you the missing link? In fact, you are not the missing link, but you are the key link actually. You are studying simulation models. All of you, your professors are teaching you simulation models. You are learning the data. You are doing cutting edge research. Sometimes you are just looking at papers and just assimilating a lot of things, right? Do you agree? You are the ones who will design the next systems, you will design the next processes, the next products. Do you agree with that or not? How many of you think you will not? I see a lot of quiet faces. Believe me, there's a quiz after this. So, anyway. So, in the 50s, we lacked a lot of data. We did not have enough information. We invented something and we had a problem. And excuses. We have no excuse today to not think things through, to not think of the consequences of what we do. And therefore, sorry, thank you, yeah. So where does the future sit? It's in research papers, in university labs, in sustainability departments, in policy studies, in engineering simulations, in this room here. Right? It sounds dramatic to say that change is in our hands. But the truth is that the next materials, the next apps, the next supply chains, the products, policies are going to come from people sitting here right now and people sitting in similar institutions across the globe. The only real question is whether you design them on autopilot like you did in the past or you do it with foresight. The world depends on you, and this is not an empty statement. The world depends on you. I am a dinosaur, but this future is yours. You are the bridge between sustainability and economy. And I exhort all of you to use knowledge wisely to integrate sustainability and economy, to make the world a better place, to develop a vision that looks into the future. And I would like to thank everyone for listening to this appeal from a common citizen. It comes from my heart, and it's your future. I would like to commend Professor Shinoy, Professor Pariga, Professor Geta, and GBTU for leading the path here. And over the next few days, I'm sure you will discover new topics and ways, old topics, new ways. And this is the future for you, to discover, to create, and to create with a perspective that you create something that does not need to be recycled, that can be used and used and used and used again and again and again. And there are many examples like industry is now going in that direction. But I think that's what I would like to end, but I would like to end with a small couplet. And before that, a thank you to you, Dr. Vijay, to Dr. Gautam, and to Surat Subramanian, a young green warrior in the sustainable area, who helped me think this through. So thank you so much. And the couplet is, and I will translate it for people who do not understand a bit of Urdu. It says, "Ilm ki roshni haathon mein hai." Ilm means knowledge. Roshni means light, right? Ilm ki roshni haathon mein hai. उसे महफूज रखना. महफूज means keep it safe. उसे महफूज रखना. कल की जो तकदीर हो, what is the future for you? इसे बेहतर तुम करना. Thank you, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and thought-provoking words.
I would like to introduce and welcome our special invitee, Ms. Beatrice Irene Camacho, First Secretary, High Commission of Malawi, New Delhi, India. Ms. Beatrice holds a bachelor's degree in theology and a master's degree in international relations, bringing together strong academic grounding and diplomatic expertise. She has also extensive experience as a consultant and researcher across various fields. Throughout her career, she has served in several managerial positions, overseeing key administrative functions such as recruitment, employee welfare, labor relations, disciplinary processes, and office administration. Her professional background reflects a strong commitment to organizational efficiency, employee engagement, and effective coordination between management and staff. Ms. Beatrice is recognized for her sensitivity to institutional mandates, strong interpersonal skills, and ability to manage multiple responsibilities with creativity and dedication. In her current diplomatic role, Ms. Beatrice is passionate about fostering educational cooperation between Malawi and India. She actively promotes student exchange programs, educational partnerships, and the welfare of Malawian students studying in India. Guided by her belief in the transformating power of education, she continues to build bridges that strengthens Malawi's international academic and cultural relations. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. We are honored to have you with us today. Ma'am, please you are requested to address the gathering.
Good morning. I think we're still in the morning. Namaste. I don't have much to say, but I have just a short brief of what is happening today. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, our future shapers of tomorrow. It is an immense honor to stand before you today as we innovate the pivotal forum on sustainable knowledge economy. Trends, innovation, and best practices in a world racing towards digital transformation, we will gather not just to discuss ideas, but ignite actions that will harmonize knowledge creation with planetary stewardship. Imagine this. A knowledge economy where data flows like renewable energy, clean, infinite, and equitable shared. We are witnessing transformative trends like AI-driven green analytics, blockchain for transparent supply chain, and circular economy models powered by big data. But trends alone won't suffice. Best practices demand intentions. Let's prioritize upskills workforce through lifelong learning platforms, fostering open access research hubs that democratize knowledge and embedding ECG metric into every innovation pipeline. Companies like those in Singapore's Smart Nation initiative show us how they have slashed carbon footprints by 20% through AI-optimized urban planning, proving sustainability boosts prosperity. As we embark on this journey, I challenge each of us: innovate boldly, collaborate fiercely, and measure success not by GDP alone, but by our legacy for generations ahead. Together, let's build a knowledge economy that endures, sustainable, inclusive, and unstoppable. Thank you. Let's pioneer the future together. Thank you.
Thank you for your inspiring words.
I would like to make an announcement. Our chief guest for today is here, so we'll just wait for a few minutes before he joins us. Our chief guest for today, Professor Dheeraj Sharma, Director, Indian Institute of Management, Rotterdam. is here with us. So I hope your journey was not too stressful. Please give a big round of applause for sir. Now, I would like to call VC Sir Professor Dinesh Shenoy and Pro VC Sir Dr. Dhirendra Parihar Singh to please felicitate our chief guest for today. So please.
Professor Dheeraj Sharma is a director of Indian Institute of Management, Rohtak. Prior to joining IIM Rohtak, Professor Dheeraj Sharma was a professor and chairperson of department at IIM Ahmedabad. In experience of over 25 years, he has taught at numerous educational institutes in Europe, Asia, and North America. Professor Sharma has a doctoral degree in business administration with a major in marketing strategy and a double minor in psychology and quantitative analysis from Louisiana Tech University, USA. He has been recognized as Global Thought Leader for 2019, 2022, and 2025 by Academy of Global Business Advancement, USA. He was also recognized as a turnaround man for turning around organizations by Outlook magazine in 2020. He is a member of Who's Who of American Professionals and Who's Who in the world. Professor Sharma has published over 250 articles and 12 books. Professor Sharma serves on the board of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy, Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, and Economic Advisory Council, Government of Haryana, and several others. Professor Sharma is amongst the top 2% researchers in the world as per the prestigious 2023 rankings released by Stanford University. He was honored with the Best Researcher Award at prestigious Nalanda Awards 2023 during Canadian Literary Festival held in Toronto, Canada. Sir, a very warm welcome. We are honored to have you as the chief guest of our 8th International Conference. Sir, you are requested to please address the gathering.
Namaste, good morning. At the outset, I must really express deep gratitude to Mr. Shenoy for this opportunity. I think any opportunity to speak with young minds should be welcome. This is my first chance to visit Sona, and can you believe it, we are just an hour and a half away from here. Never seen the city, it's wonderful. Wonderful to see the city come up so well. I was asking ma'am on the way here as to the topic of this conference, which was conveyed to me, is going to be for a period of 3 days. And the larger topic that we got was on responsible leadership and sustainable resources and so forth. Now, you know, all these young students who are sitting here, they must be thinking about this component of responsibility. I would like to give you a few instances, and I think it will be useful. I'm so not used to speaking on podium, like I can use the mic. That will be useful. Yes, this is better. my dear friends, all of you in the age group of, I believe, how many of you are in the age group of above 25? Anybody above 25? Very few. Above 30? None. So everybody is below 30. So responsible leadership entails the word responsibility with it. Let me open your mind as to the data on responsibility in the new generation. So I examined the data of the IIMs, the ones that I could get access in terms of their placement. And some very interesting things came out of that experiment. This is a data of pre-COVID and post-COVID comparison only, and you can, look at it holistically as well. The likelihood that somebody would buy a car amongst those who graduated from the IIM system post-COVID is virtually negligible. Nobody wants to buy a car. Likelihood that somebody would buy a television is again zero, virtually negligible. Nobody wants to buy a television. Pre-COVID, one of the most important things that our graduates would want to buy was a car. I mean, as soon as you graduated, if you're a graduate of 2015, 14, 16, 17, you almost immediately would want to buy a car. Nobody wants to buy a car anymore. Nobody wants to buy a television anymore. If you choose that as indicators and you dig deeper, you want to find out why people are not doing this. So we're just finishing writing a book, Understanding the Youth, and I can talk as to why people don't want to do this. And in a simplistic manner, the reason is I don't want to have the responsibility of maintaining the car or managing any encumbrances which are associated with owning a hard asset. As a matter of fact, there is increasing decline, contradictory term, decline is faster even in acquisition of hard assets like property. So Cushman and Wakefield, another company, wanted to find out what is the propensity of individual youngsters who want to buy a flat or want to buy a landed property. Again, pre-COVID, post-COVID comparison is a decline. Same reason is that when you buy a hard asset, you are expected then to take care of it. And so the topic itself becomes very complex here, responsible leadership. When the evidence indicates that everybody wants to shirk responsibility, everybody would like to rent out, lease out, momentarily experience. Just to elaborate the point further, when we were asking anecdotal evidence from because we at IIM Rohtak, we are amongst those few IIMs which has a very large baccalaureate program as well. We have an integrated program in management, integrated program in law, large number of undergraduate students. So we talk to them as to what is the nature of scope of them getting married before 30. And again the number would drop. As a matter of fact, significant percentage of these individuals don't want to get married. I don't know whether that thing will change because right now these kids are 19, 20, 21. Maybe it will change when they're 30. But at the present point in time, they don't want to. And again, very important factor is, I don't want to be held responsible. I don't wish to be. So when we preach the concepts of responsible leadership, how am I expecting individuals to exhibit responsibility in leadership when they are all about shirking responsibility in any other domain? You cannot be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You don't care about anything for too long. You care about it first. That's why there is a whole stream of research which talks about experience-based economy.
And what is experience-based economy? It is predicated on the notion that every single experience is a unique experience. Which means when you go to Starbucks and you pay some 400 odd rupees or 300 odd rupees to buy a cup of coffee, you're not paying for the coffee, you're technically paying for the experience, and each time and every time you enter the premise of a Starbucks, it's a unique experience. So there's a whole stream of research which talks about uniqueness and a whole stream of research which talks about experience economy. That's why the propensity amongst our students, you'll be surprised. In the IIM system, we have really not experimented much with the way we structure our programs. I'll give you another instance. All of our coursework, placements, and everything gets done by the time it's done. So we are done. We completed our placements in January, exams are on, everything will be done by 1st of March. And then we used to give a very long break to our students, almost 4 weeks, so that they could go home and spend time with their family before they pick up jobs in the first week of April or maybe in the middle of April. That sort of was a trend in the from time immemorial. However, what we've noticed recently, nobody goes home. So most of these students, young students in the age group of 23 to 25, bulk of them want to go for vacation with friends. This is their opportunity to again experience something. So they are investing in these vacations, in experiences, and those experiences are going to give them some degree of exhilaration. I anticipate that there will be some degree of exhilaration. But again, there is no intent of going back to the family. If I relate that to the previous example, again, family is a long-term investment. You don't want to do that. So, how do we talk about responsibility in organizational context? How do we talk about? Let me give you another illustration of lack of responsibility. Then I'll come back to the responsibility part. 72% of the students who picked up a job from campus in the 2 IIMs that I've been associated with, IIM A and IIM Rohtak, 72% average number, quit their job, the campus job, in less than 12 months. They pick up another job. Campus placements technically are only lasting 10-11 months. Now this is a very perplexing situation, because these students come to our institutions largely to avail, of course, we would like to believe, avail high quality education, we would like to believe that, but they are probably interested in placements. And they want to get this placement and then they don't stay. You know, as I say, so much of hue and cry about getting a job and then you quit that job. So now comes the notion of why this has happened. Why has this happened? What is the antecedent to this outcome that we are facing? The antecedent, the first antecedent is reduced ability to accommodate. You do not wish to accommodate anymore. Accommodation, by and large, in the new generation is declining. Now, why does accommodation decline? It declines on account of abundance of resources. You have more than the previous generation, and the previous generation probably has bestowed more on you. It is also predicated on reduced number of children. It is also predicated on double incomes. India experienced a boom in double income families post 1991, particularly after 1995, with large number of IT companies. IT is one of the reasons why women got a lot of jobs in India, which provided secure, safe, comfortable environment for women to engage in workforce. As a matter of fact, if you look at data, you would find the number multiplying every single year between 1995 and 2005.
women coming into workforce. IT is one of the biggest reasons for that. Now you have children of those parents of that particular vintage who were born in 70s and the children are born in 2000s and they have two incomes. Abundance of financial resources, deprecated time resources, of course. You have to make choices. Everybody is making choices. That's one reason which has resulted in accommodation. So this notion has further been strengthened by Western influences through social media, where accommodation as a subject has been downgraded, deprecated. There's an advertisement, for instance, I'd like to illustrate for PowerPoint with this advertisement. This is advertisement of a famous film actress. Advertisement, I don't remember of which product, but the lady comes in and she requests someone to change the seat. And the person refuses, or the lady refuses, and she says, I paid for this. I paid 500 rupees or 1000 rupees for this, and it's paid for, and I paid for it, and I'm not going to give it up. So, not only accommodation is reducing, but we are celebrating not accommodating through our choices that, hey, you know what? You should have been better prepared. You should have planned ahead. You should have thought of it ahead. I'm not going to make a spot accommodation. It's not going to happen. That propensity was again studied in an experimental form where people wanted to find out whether a person would give their seat up on account of somebody's request. And the statistical evidence is that the likelihood the generation 18 to 25, somebody giving up their seat for another person, if they have pre-booked it, very low. I pre-booked it, I paid, I don't want to. So, as a consequence, accommodation going down will result in what? When you don't wish to accommodate, scientifically, it will result in what we call entitlement. When you are not willing to accommodate, then you will be entitled. You feel a sense of entitlement. So, in the present context, then how do I expect young generation to start assuming the role of responsibility? Now, there is a whole concept of situational leadership. Situational leadership puts you in a particular situation, and then you're expected to adapt to the situation, and there is no choice but lead. So, what we are experiencing, that a great degree of role specification has happened in the last so many years in the corporate sector. So I've gone from explaining to you the present situation, and I've given you one antecedent. I can give you a few more of the reasons of this lack of responsibility. Now I think I should just speak a few more lines on how industry should alter and maybe change to create this responsible leadership. And I think they can change. How they can do that is that we recently started writing a paper just a few weeks ago on accommodation and how accommodation then becomes a benchmark. Let me illustrate this to the point. This paper, it's an Academy of Management Journal paper, recently shared with me, which talked about Academy of Management Journals, by the way, a top journal in management, where scientific research gets published, really high quality. And the person says, if you start accommodating individuals, after a period of time, the accommodation becomes the benchmark and the baseline. And a sense of entitlement once grows, then a new accommodation is sought. Now the person gave this example in the context of disability, disabled people or people with disability in organizations. So the point that the person narrates, the person says that when we wanted to create accommodation for disabled people in organizations, we tried to make buildings disability accessible. which means buildings would have a slope. The buildings would then also have, access washrooms, special washrooms. It'll have probably elevators at places where a person could not enter. So initially, all of this was done as a measure of accommodation for individuals who could not access. But over a period of time, this entered the building code. Now you can't have a building. You cannot have a building. So how this accommodation has become, what I would say, the benchmark line for any building. So a person seeking accommodation is no longer seeking accommodation because it's already there. So is now going to be demanding more accommodation. And how will that factor into the workplace? Now, if you take this out of context, the Academy of Management journal paper is on disability, but if you take this in the context of responsible leadership, I would like individuals to have training programs to allow them to enter organizations and work. Most of the top organizations would hire MBA students as management trainees. Why they were hired as management trainees? Because most of the organizations wanted these individuals to ease into the management world. So I give you 2 years of management training, 1 year of management training, and then you will ease yourself into a managerial position and start acting in a particular manner that behooves an individual who is of that particular stature. So the industry's responses, as of the data indicated by recent PwC study, they are doing away with management training programs. You are not going to have a management training program. Why? The answer is latent in the AMJ paper. If I start treating you with kids after the first 2 years, you are not going to learn. You're actually going to become more complacent and start demanding more of your organization without putting anything back on the table. So what I want you to do now is I want you to hit the ground running from day one. System reacts. Individuals don't react to organization. System will react. So therefore, there is no 2 year training period, 1 year training period of management trainees. You come, day one, I give you a brief, average orientation, a day, 2, 3, at best a week, get on the job. Because responsible leadership will probably come after you have started to exhibit your commitment to the organization. In the erstwhile, the organizations were welcoming you, they wanted to treat you well, and they wanted you to be there for a long period of time, gave you that window of opportunity. But now, we're sort of in a quid pro quo system. You come, you start, hit the ground running, and get to work. So this is the flow of my brief talk that I could think of in the last, the 2 minutes that Glenn gave me with the topic. One, you start with the objective is the data indicates that there is an abdication of responsibility in the new generation. That is on account of abundance of resources, fewer children phenomena, very few. How many of you, by the way, show of hands, have more than 2 brothers or sisters? See? And she's actually ashamed. You should be proud. You are probably the only one who is going to have Mama, Chacha, Tau, and Mausi. Others are not going to miss one of these. One more. This is the reflection of the present environment. So fewer children, double income, fewer children, more monetary resources, more indulgence, less time. And so when you get into trouble, I'll tell you what was the reaction of your parents. Let's say you flunked on account of creating a problem in this institution in GD Goenka.
Your father is going to be on the first flight to come here and fight with the Vice Chancellor. Where the father is going to demonstrate that this is my opportunity to shine. I've never otherwise paid a lot of attention, devoted time, but this is my opportunity to shine. So, abundance of resources, double income, more indulgence, reduction in accommodation. Reduction in accommodation is still okay. Celebration of non-accommodation. I am refusing. I own it. Technically, you don't own anything. If you go by philosophical perspective, even theft is not technically the responsibility of an individual. Theft is on account of inequity in society from a philosophical standpoint. If you are stealing something, you didn't have it. So, उसमें philosophy में आप चले जाओगे. Lack of accommodation is now being celebrated in the new generation. And I refused. I said no. With that as the premise, the antecedent being this, what is the next step? How do we take care of this? We take care of this through situational leadership. I impel you into difficult situations. I don't have the time. I can't treat you with kid gloves as your parents did or grandparents did. I'm not going to do that. Industry responds. Industry will not indulge. Industry will want you to hit the ground running on day one. Give me bang for every rupee that I'm giving you. And that's when you will come back and start to realize that these finer things such as what we call responsible leadership will have to stick. Market is a very, very beautiful thing, wonderful. It had its own equilibrium. It, what they say, comes back to its neutral position out of its own volition. There is no measure to bring it to its equilibrium. It comes on its own. So therefore, if we have to have situational leadership present in organizations to create responsible leadership, it will create further challenges. And those challenges would be on account of fatigue, on account of burnout, on account of people quitting jobs and doing nothing. Of course, at the strategic level, that is being appreciated because of course you're not going to die of hunger. In India, in 2026, the likelihood that you will die from a disease is probably there. From an accident, pretty high. But dying from lack of food, zero. No chance. So, with state support also available, to support you, the likelihood that if we keep putting people in situational leadership at early age with no, they will have to respond to the system, cater to those demands, but eventually the hard part of that would be, it is going to be an extremely different situation for you when you are in your 40s, that you'll be burnt out, fatigued, and probably without children, and probably distant from grandchildren. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Now, as a university deeply committed to community engagement, we believe that learning does not happen only within classroom walls. Our regular outreach programs, field immersions, service learning initiatives, and community-based projects are not add-ons, they are integral to our curriculum. We view education as a collaborative partnership between the university and the community. Our engagement with the government schools is a reflection of this philosophy. Our students and faculty learn invaluable lessons in empathy, leadership, and real-world problem solving from these interactions under the community service course. It is with immense pride and deep gratitude that we gather here today to celebrate a truly inspiring group of leaders, our government school principals, the real change makers in the education.
Education is not transformed by policies alone. It is transformed by people. It is shaped by leaders who innovate despite constraints, who inspire despite challenges, and who build hope where resources may be limited. Today, we honor those principals who have demonstrated outstanding leadership through best practices in school management, inclusive education, community participation, student empowerment, and innovative teaching learning processes. Government schools are the backbone of our educational ecosystem. They serve diverse communities and carry the responsibility of ensuring equitable access to quality education. The principals we felicitate today have gone beyond administrative duties. They have become visionaries, mentors, problem solvers, and community mobilizers. Their work reminds us that meaningful change begins at the grassroots. By honoring these principles, we also reaffirm our commitment to walk alongside them, to share knowledge, resources, and collective vision for the betterment of our society.
Our first inspiring school principal is Ms. Pramila Kumari, Principal, Government Senior Secondary School, Chapera, New, Mewat, Haryana. Ms. Pramila Kumari, Principal of GSSS Chapera, New, holds an MA in Geography and BA with 12.5 years of experience, including 8 years as a PGT Geography and 4.5 years as a principal. She is dedicated to skill enhancement, especially for girls, championing women empowerment and fostering more effective and engaging education with a team. Ma'am, a very warm welcome. Kindly address the gathering with a few words about your journey as a change maker.
Good morning all. गवर्नमेंट सीनियर स्टडीज प्रिंसिपल के पद पर कार्यरत होती और हमारे स्कूल में बहुत बड़ा नहीं लेकिन छोटी सी शुरुआत हमने की है। जो वेस्ट मटेरियल्स होती हैं, अभी सबने जैसा बताया कि बहुत सारा प्लास्टिक हमारे एनवायरनमेंट में आ गया है, तो उसको रिड्यूस करने के लिए हमने कुछ हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स बनाने शुरू किए हैं और बच्चों के अंदर ये बातें इंटरप्रेट करने की कोशिश की है कि वो आगे फ्यूचर में अपने एनवायरनमेंट को हरा भरा बनाए रखें और सुंदर सा वातावरण बनाएं। तो क्योंकि शुरुआत वहीं से होती है, हमारी सोच की, हमारे बदलाव की। छोटे बच्चे होते हैं तो उन्हीं में वहीं से शुरुआत होनी चाहिए, तभी हम आगे बड़े बच्चों में या आगे जो रिस्पॉन्सिबल नागरिक होते हैं अपने देश के, उनको तभी बदल पाएंगे जब शुरुआत वहाँ से होगी। तो वही कोशिश की है हमने एक छोटी सी अपने स्कूल में। तो उसी के लिए मैम ने हमें यहाँ इन्वाइट किया है। थैंक यू सो मच।
I would like our guests to please felicitate our first principal, Ms. Pramila Kumari. Thank you so much, ma'am. Our second inspiring principal is Ms. Jyoti Malik, Principal at Government Senior Secondary School, Gangoli. Ms. Jyoti holds Master's degree in Biotechnology, Education and Business Administration and qualified NET in 2012 with nearly 16 years of professional experience. She has also worked as a QA microbiologist in a pharmaceutical company, served over 12 years as a biology lecturer in the Haryana Government Education Department, and has also served as a principal for nearly a year. A very warm welcome, ma'am. Please kindly address the gathering with a few words about your journey.
Good morning, one and all present here. First of all, I would like to thank the fraternity of Goenka University for inviting us here. And I would like to say, according to me, sustainability is the need of the hour, because it is required in economy, in our daily needs, and also in majorly in environment. In my school, we perform many activities to maintain sustainability of the school. Like, we are doing activities like rainwater harvesting, we are doing activities like vermicomposting, because in a government school, maintaining the school cleanliness and the garbage is the major problem, because midday meal also get prepared in the schools for the students, and to maintain the biodegradable waste, we have maintained a special corner which does the vermicomposting, and the students themselves maintain that corner. And we use that manure in the kitchen garden which we have maintained. So in this way, we do few practices so that students also understand to keep their surrounding clean and to understand sustainability. Thank you so much. Lastly, I would again thank you, Goenka University.
Respected guests, please proceed with the felicitation. Thank you so much, Tom.
Now, I would like to introduce our next inspiring principal, Ms. Seema Punya, Principal, Government Senior Secondary School, Khera, Khalilpur, District New. Ms. Seema holds an MA and MPhil in Sanskrit along with BA and brings nearly 13 years of experience, including 8.5 years as a lecturer in Sanskrit and 4 years as a principal. She is deeply committed to strengthening rural education, promoting sports and skill enhancement, and works collaboratively with a team to make learning more effective and engaging. A very warm welcome, ma'am. Kindly address the gathering with a few words about your journey as a change maker.
गुड मॉर्निंग, नमस्ते सर, नमो नमः। मैं प्रिंसिपल सीमा पुनिया मेवाड़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जॉब करती हूँ। तो 4 ईयर का मेरा एज ए प्रिंसिपल एक्सपीरियंस, 8 इयर्स एज ए संस्कृत लेक्चर मैंने मेवाड़ में ही वर्क किया है। हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस होते हैं रूरल एरिया में, और मेनली गर्ल्स के साथ एक्चुअली हमारे यहाँ एजुकेशन का थोड़ा सा ये है कि एजुकेशन पे इतना फोकस नहीं किया जाता है, स्पेशली गर्ल्स के लिए। तो हमारा फोकस रहता है गर्ल्स को एजुकेशन देना और साथ में उनको स्किल्स डेवलप करना। जैसे कि आप सभी एक रेपुटेड यूनिवर्सिटी में स्टडी कर रहे हो, तो आपको हर फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल हैं। तो एज ए प्रिंसिपल रूरल एरिया मैं भी कोशिश करती हूँ कि जैसा प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी, प्राइवेट स्कूल्स अपने बच्चों को अच्छी फैसिलिटीज़ देते हैं, तो उस तरह से ही हम भी पूरी कोशिश करते हैं कि हम अपने ग्रामीण बच्चों को वो सब सुविधाएँ देने की कोशिश करें। मेनली हमारा फोकस होता है डिजिटल, तो हम पर्सनली इंडिविजुअली कोशिश करते हैं कि बच्चों को, जैसे आजकल डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में विशेष बच्चों का भी मैंने देखा है कि बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट रहता है। तो मैं एज ए प्रिंसिपल मैं डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के बारे में 12th क्लास को एक स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग देती हूँ ऑनलाइन यूट्यूब के माध्यम से जैसे भी। और एक हमारे लिए बड़े ही प्राउड की बात है कि हमारी हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट ने हमारी एवरी क्लास को डिजिटल क्लासरूम हमें प्रोवाइड किया है हमारे बच्चों को। कोई भी क्लासरूम हमारा ऑफलाइन नहीं है, एवरी क्लासरूम हमारा डिजिटल है। इसके लिए हरियाणा गवर्नमेंट का भी मैं थैंक्स करती हूँ। और साथ साथ फिर हम उसका एक, जैसे आज का प्रोग्राम मेन आपका है कि इकोसिस्टम के लिए, तो इसके लिए जैसे अभी ज्योति मैम ने बताया, प्रोमिला मैम ने बताया कि हमारे यहाँ मिड डे मील बनता है, तो उसका वेस्टेज वगैरह होता है, तो किचन गार्डन है, रेन हार्वेस्टिंग है। हम हर सिस्टम उस गांव के बच्चों को, गांव के अभिभावकों को, पेरेंट्स को कोशिश करते हैं कि हम वो सब फैसिलिटीज़ दे सकें जो प्राइवेट स्कूल्स, प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज़ अपने बच्चों को देती हैं। और इसके लिए हमें एक हमारे खुद के एक मन में, एक दिमाग में एक क्रांति लानी पड़ती है हम प्रिंसिपल्स को, स्पेशली मेवाड़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो जॉब करते हैं हम प्रिंसिपल्स। हमने एक ठान रखा है कि हमने इतनी ज़्यादा चुनौतियों में, चैलेंजेस में हमें अपनी जो सोच है पॉजिटिव रखनी है, तभी हम मेवाड़ के बच्चों को, ग्रामीण बच्चों को आगे ले जा सकते हैं और वो कम्पीट कर सके अर्बन एरियाज से। यही हमारा एक उद्देश्य है कि हम उन ग्रामीण बच्चों को इतना सक्सेस कर सके कि आगे आने वाले टाइम में वो अर्बन एरियाज के बच्चों से कम्पीट कर सके। और इस उद्देश्य के लिए हमने अपने मन में भी एक क्रांति ला रखी है और वही क्रांति हम मेवाड़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट को दे रहे हैं। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your thought-provoking words.
So much, ma'am. Today, we have another special invitee with us, Mr. Eric Jean-Marie Zinsou. Sir serves as an ambassador of Republic of Benin and is also a diplomat and a lawyer. Sir, we would request you to please come up and address the gathering. Also, everybody please give a big hand to Sir.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. the President of the conference, distinguished guests, distinguished member of the academic student, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not supposed to speak today, but as I'm here, I will say a few words regarding the theme of today. It is a great honor for me to be here at this important conference, and I would like to thank the organizer for inviting the Republic of Benin to the inaugural session of the 8th International Conference of GD ICOM 2026. It is a great pleasure and a privilege to say a few words on this topic. The sustainable knowledge, economic, trend, innovation, and best practice. The sustainable knowledge is the understanding of how our individual and collective action impact the present, the future, the planet, and the coming generation. In other words, it is how to manage information or the implementation of innovation over time or technicity for lasting benefit of people. How sustainable knowledge impact the economy and where people can have this knowledge. How universities and academic institutions, through research and innovation, will become an accelerators and the drive force of resilient economy and sustainable development. How can we strengthen the alignment between education and sustainable development goals by positioning universities and knowledge creators as central actors in building a more equitable, innovative, and environmental responsible economy? All that aspects are the core objectives of this conference. I will give a few reflections regarding about that. The importance of original research and innovation as driver of resilience economy. It should be noted that research and innovation can create a resilient economic model by accelerating the transformation of traditional structures into sustainable and adaptable systems. By fostering resilient economy models, innovation enables the transition from an economy characterized by extract, produce, consume, discard model to system capable to withstand external shock, whether health-related, climatic, and energy crisis. Research develop solutions to reduce, reuse, repair, and recycle resources, thereby limiting dependence on external raw materials. Product and service innovation must enable businesses and adjust rapidly by evolving demand and move up to the value chain in order to secure the position in the market. We have to know, and that concerns the youth here, that it is in universities, in institutes that you can acquire knowledge, and as Martin Luther King said, each human being and each generation should leave his blueprint to the future generation. As you are here now, you have to take this time to learn, to impact your family, to impact the future generation. And I would like to thank Goenka for organizing this important event. And I would like to thank you and wish you a success. Thank you very much.
I would now request our guests to please felicitate our special invitee.
A very warm and heartfelt thank you to everyone present here today. As we come to the close of the inaugural ceremony of ICON 2026, International Conference on Sustainable Knowledge Economy, Trends, Innovation, and Best Practices. It is my proud privilege to propose the Board of Thanks. First and foremost, I extend my deepest gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dinesh Shenoy sir, and our respected Vice Chancellor and Registrar, Dr. Durendra Singh Parikar sir, for their constant encouragement, visionary leadership, and unwavering support in making this conference a grand success. Your guidance strengthens our academic endeavors and inspires us to aim higher. I would also like to sincerely thank our Dean, School of Management, Professor Dr. Sumita Girijaman, whose dynamic leadership, academic excellence, and meticulous planning have shaped this conference into a truly international platform of ideas and collaboration. A warm thank you to all the deans of various schools for your kind presence and encouragement. Our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished dignitaries, Mr. Dinesh Sharma sir. Your presence as chief guest has elevated the stature of this conference. Your extraordinary academic contributions and leadership continue to inspire institutions across the nation. Mr. Jitender Glover, thank you, sir, for sharing invaluable industry insights and bridging the gap between academia and corporate practice. Mr. Amit Sinha, we deeply appreciate your time and perspective on sustainability and business excellence. Ms. Beatrice, ma'am, thank you for gracing us with your presence and for strengthening international academic cooperation. We are equally grateful to all our researchers, scholars, corporate professionals, and participants who have contributed intellectually to this global dialogue on sustainability and knowledge economy. A special word of appreciation goes to the organizing committee, faculty coordinators, student volunteers, technical team, and support staff whose dedication, behind-the-scenes efforts, and seamless coordination have made today's event successful. A special thanks to Mr. Ramprasad Thakur for his invaluable support in organizing the event. We also extend sincere thanks to our respected government school principals, our true change makers in education. Your commitment to grassroots transformation and inclusive education reminds us that real impact begins at the community level. Lastly, I thank each and every member of the audience, both present here and joining us virtually, for your enthusiastic participation and engagement. Let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration, sustainability, and shared responsibility as we continue with the sessions of ICON 2026. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful and intellectually enriching conference ahead.
May I request all the dignitaries join us for a photograph and the deans of other schools also, principals.